Yeah.
The Fever, as you mentioned, took on Brazil back in Iowa. Caitlin's logo shot. I mean, she outdid she logoed the logo. Now they got to put a new logo down.
Sue Bird just pulled a full-on fangirl moment, and no, it wasn't for Taylor Swift. It was for Caitlin Clark, the walking three-point flamethrower. Yep, the WNBA legend didn't just praise Caitlin, she basically wrote her a verbal love letter. If admiration were a sport, Sue just won MVP. What did she say exactly? Why is the internet losing its collective mind over it? And did she just hint at something more?
So that takes us to Indiana, which I think everyone agrees right now has gone from, a team that made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. They were building all these young pieces, of course, Caitlin Clark, to now an immediate contender with all the moves that they've made.
Caitlin Clark just got the basketball version of being knighted by the queen. Except this queen doesn't need a crown. She's got WNBA rings, Olympic gold, and the permanent ability to silence a room just by raising an eyebrow. Yes, Sue Bird, the legend, the floor general, the woman who ran points so flawlessly she made geometry jealous. And now she's giving Caitlin Clark the kind of praise that turns even the most jaded sports fan into a giddy middle schooler clutching a Lisa Frank notebook.
And so does everybody else. The ratings for this game were 1.28 million. The game was on ESPN. It peaked at 1.6, and she only played like 18 minutes. Wow. So the Caitlin Clark effect is back.
When Sue Bird speaks, the basketball world doesn't just listen. It stops what it's doing and pays attention. It's like getting a stamp of approval from the two queens of influence, Beyonce and Oprah, all rolled into one. And that's exactly what happened when Bird showered Caitlin Clark with praise. It wasn't just a simple nod. It was more like a legendary handoff. But with the precision and power of one of Bird's iconic outlet passes, the torch wasn't passed gently. It was launched with the kind of force that makes history feel inevitable. Talk about a monumental moment.
Put Caitlin Clark on the Olympic team?
Right now?
No. I'm going to guess she'll probably be on the next Olympic team. Just guessing.
I mean, TBD.
Yeah.
We got 3 years.
But let's be clear. Sue Bird doesn't hand out compliments like Halloween candy. She doesn't just look at every hotshot rookie with a TikTok following and say, wow, icon in the making. No. This woman played through 4 decades, survived UConn, won titles, made Diana Taurasi look reasonable, and still had time to dominate international courts while every other nation stared on like, wait, that's legal? So when Sue says she loves someone as a player, it's not flattery, it's prophecy.
Not seeing her play since the fall. I'm sure everybody was hype. I mean, we tuned in.
Yeah.
Everybody was hype. So that was really great to see. And then, of course, there was an adorable moment where basically all the Brazilian players were asking for her autograph and trying to take pictures. There's also a really cute moment where I think in their shoot around, they tried to hit a shot from that logo.
And of course, Caitlin Clark, the walking 40-point game, the deep range assassin, the woman who treats half-court shots like casual warm-up jumpers, has officially received the golden blessing. This means we're all now bound by some sort of unspoken rule to watch her career unfold like it's the first season of Game of Thrones, a roller coaster of violence, drama, and the occasional ankle break. Her every move is destined to be an absolute spectacle. And if you're not tuning in, well, you're basically missing out on the greatest show in sports. She's about to rewrite the game, and we're here for it.
Pace. And what I see in Caitlin, continuing to impress and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple of years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record break.
Yeah.
When Sue Bird praises Caitlin Clark, we're not just witnessing a casual compliment. This is Da Vinci strolling into an art gallery, pausing in front of a fresh canvas from a young unknown and saying, okay, kid, you've got it. It's a master recognizing another rising master, not in some distant, polite way, but with genuine reverence. It's Gordon Ramsay peering into your kitchen, lifting the lid on your risotto and saying nothing, just nodding. No expletives, no dramatic flailing, just the sacred silence of approval. It's Serena Williams watching your backhand during a rally, arms crossed and giving the kind of slight, nearly imperceptible nod that tells you you've earned it. And in a world drowning in hot takes and performative hype, that kind of gesture is rare. It's sacred. It's the athletic version of getting knighted. Let's be clear, Sue Bird's praise isn't just a nice tweet. It's not some generic post-game fluff you toss into a press conference. No, this is a signal flare, a declaration, a mic tap heard across the sports world. This is Sue clearing her throat on the mountaintop and telling the world that Caitlin Clark is not a flash in the pan. She's not riding the coattails of Instagram Reels and TikTok edits. She is not some adorable sports novelty for guys who still refer to the WNBA as that cute league with the jump shots. She is, in every measurable way, certified buckets.
Like, do the thing that she knows everyone wants her to do.
She knows what the people
She broke the record
want.
making that shot to begin with. There's just like a certain star quality and like star power there. But it takes you being confident enough, willing enough to be like, oh no. I know what you want. Come here. I'm gonna give it to you. I loved it so much. I just think it's great. I love when athletes like have that, like, bring the cameras right over here.
Well,
It's so fun.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. She knows it, and so does her.
Because when Sue Bird speaks, the basketball world listens. This is one of the most decorated players in the history of the sport. We're talking 4-time WNBA champion, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, a walking resume that makes LinkedIn blush. She doesn't hand out gold stars just because someone trended on Twitter. If Sue's acknowledging Clark, it means something seismic. It's more than respect, it's an endorsement. It's a handing over of the torch with both hands, eyes locked, no flinching. And Caitlin Clark? She's not just catching that torch, she's turning it into a flamethrower. She's redefining what's possible on the court. Logo threes that make you question the laws of physics. No look passes that make defenders rethink their life choices. She has that rare combination of swagger, instinct, and surgical precision. And now with Sue Bird's seal of approval, that's the basketball version of being anointed in holy water and dropped straight into the Hall of Fame pipeline. So no, this isn't just a moment. It's a marker in the timeline of women's basketball. When Sue Bird praises you, it's like your name being etched into stone. Not the kind of stone you find in souvenir shops, the kind that sits under museum lighting. Permanent, revered, and unforgettable.
What I find most interesting is at the start of the season, everybody had their panties in a twist over Caitlin getting picked up full court and Caitlin being denied. And I think what I'm not surprised by is naturally during a WNBA season, teams and players, you start to get a little tired. You're kind of in like the doldrums of the every day or every other day is a game. And it's hard to keep that discipline to guard a player like that.
And for anyone still doubting Caitlin Clark's legitimacy, Sue already told you, she's not hype, she's history in the making. Also, can we take a second to appreciate the emotional fortitude it must take for Sue Bird to watch someone else getting all this attention and still be gracious, warm, and funny? If most athletes had Sue's resume, they'd have a throne built out of shoe deals and championship banners. But Sue? Nah, she shows up courtside in a hoodie, dropping gems and casually changing lives. Meanwhile, every dude on Twitter who thinks Caitlin Clark is overrated because he once made a three-pointer in his high school gym class just got metaphorically dunked on by Sue Bird with words. And they don't even know it yet. And let's talk about how good Sue is at articulating what makes players special. She's not just saying, I like her. No, Sue breaks it down like a basketball sommelier. Ah, yes, you can really taste the step back three in this play, with hints of Larry Bird and a smooth Diana Taurasi finish. She recognizes skill like a laser-guided missile identifies heat signatures. She sees the angles, the anticipation, the basketball IQ, and she sees it in Caitlin Clark.
Which really, I think, is the one that, for most people, like took it to another level. So now you're like, oh, they're a contender. Now the expectations have changed. I'm sure the way they're approaching this season has changed.
It's not a shock, though. Sue Bird has been reading the game like it was her favorite novel since she was barely tall enough to reach the net. And while other players were still figuring out which direction to dribble, she was already calculating past trajectories like a NASA scientist with a layup addiction. She didn't just play basketball. She rewrote the textbook, translated it into 3 languages, and taught a masterclass on it while dropping dimes from 40 feet away. So when she says Caitlin has it, and she does, obviously, then we all better take notes, because it means Clark isn't just a one-season wonder. She's the future franchise. The baller who could score on a moving train with a flat ball and zero gravity and still hit the highlight reel. Sue also knows what it's like to carry a franchise on your back while pretending your spine isn't slowly turning into a pretzel. She knows pressure, spotlight, expectations, and the deeply satisfying feeling of watching a defender trip over their own feet trying to guard you. That's the kind of lived experience you want behind your endorsement, not some marketing intern who just Googled female athlete who shoots a lot.
I'm not surprised it dropped off, but oh, what do you know? She's no longer getting picked up full court in the ways that we teased Ari McDonald for when she did it after a free throw when she still had another free throw. But what you're seeing is Caitlin now is able to push the ball up the floor. She's able to hit those get-ahead passes.
Yeah.
And so I won't be surprised if as the season gets later into playoff runs, if you start to see teams do more, and you're definitely going to see it in the.
But let's not forget that Sue Bird isn't just a Hall of Famer. She's also a fashion icon, a sneakerhead, a broadcaster, a philanthropist, and the person who invented the concept of walking into a room and immediately being the smartest one in it. Honestly, it's kind of rude how effortlessly amazing she is. And now, she's using all of that brilliance to uplift the next generation. While some retired athletes sit around talking about how, back in my day, we used to walk barefoot to the finals, Sue is out here investing in the next big thing. Because she knows that Caitlin Clark is more than just a viral clip machine, she's a generational player who's about to set the WNBA on fire like it owed her money. Let's just say it. Caitlin Clark being praised by Sue Bird is like being baptized in pure basketball excellence. It's like Steph Curry giving you shooting tips while LeBron irons your jersey. It's next level. It's historic. It's the type of moment that deserves confetti and a custom sneaker drop. But of course, the moment Sue said anything remotely nice, the usual suspects showed up in the comments like, well, she hasn't played in the WNBA yet. Oh, you mean the league that Sue Bird spent her career making relevant? You mean the WNBA that Sue helped carry on her back like a human atlas, while simultaneously dismantling every team in sight with surgical precision? Yeah, maybe sit this one out, Larry from Idaho.
Which teams would I not want to see in the playoffs? And that's where you brought up the fever. I think what I've learned in my WNBA experience is pace of play trumps physicality, it trumps size, it can trump experience, because a lot of times when you're experienced, it's really like code word for your veteran.
Because Sue knows talent. She's played with the GOATs. She is one of the GOATs. And if she says Caitlin Clark's the real deal, then guess what? She's the real damn deal. Let's also talk about how much Sue Bird loves the game. Not in a I like basketball way. No, she lives it. She breathes it. She probably dreams in pick and rolls. She's the kind of person who can see a no-look pass from a mile away and start clapping before the ball even hits the shooter's hands. So when she watches Caitlin Clark dominate, it's not just admiration, it's recognition. It's watching someone speak the same language, fluently, with a perfect accent. And don't think this praise was delivered casually either. Sue doesn't do half-hearted compliments. If she says she loves Caitlin Clark as a player, then somewhere in the universe, a basketball exploded from sheer pride. Because that's the kind of endorsement that echoes, that sticks. That becomes a chapter in a documentary. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is probably somewhere trying to pretend she's calm while internally screaming like someone just told her she's been cast as the next Avenger. Because again, it's Sue Bird. The woman whose highlight reel could replace electricity because it generates its own energy.
Buddy, that's why you had to pick Caitlin up full court.
Yeah.
This is why.
This is why.
The numbers she's putting up now, this
Y'all
is
stopped,
why.
and now she broke the record.
Yeah, everyone was
First
mad
season
about
for
it. I was
rookie.
I don't get it. That would be I don't even know what it would be like.
Yeah.
It'd be like letting Kevin Durant shoot pull-ups all day. It's no.
Can't do it, y'all.
Yeah, I just,
Do it.
yeah.
She's
I don't know
also
why I picked that
figuring
example,
it
but-
out and settling in.
She's definitely figuring it out.
Got a little rest.
Oh,
got a
another
little
thing, by
break.
the way,
It was
I
nice.
never thought Caitlin wasn't strong. That was actually something I noticed in college. She had a strength about her. Will she get stronger and will that help her? Yeah.
Let's also acknowledge the unspoken message here, that women's basketball is in good hands, that the transition from one generation of greatness to the next isn't just happening, it's being celebrated. Sue Bird isn't gatekeeping, she's gate opening, megaphone blasting, red carpet laying, and possibly even handing over a magic basketball that glows when touched by true talent. And yes, the sarcasm writes itself when people try to act like Sue Bird's praise doesn't mean much. Oh sure, let's ignore the 4 Olympic gold medals, 5 EuroLeague titles, and infinite IQ points because your cousin once saw a viral dunk on Instagram, please. But let's close this sermon with one undeniable truth. Sue Bird is the high priestess of basketball, and she just blessed Caitlin Clark with holy water straight from the three-point line. This isn't just hype. It's legacy, game-recognizing game. And if you don't see how iconic that is, maybe stick to cornhole.
Why weren't you afraid or intimidated to use your platform at a time when not a lot of folks were?
To be honest, I was. I think there was a period, I mean, I entered the WNBA in 2002. Times were way different if you fast forward to 2016, let's say.
Yeah.
So while the WNBA braces for the Caitlin Clark era, know this: Sue Bird is watching, supporting, and probably analyzing every play with a grin that says, "I told you so." And if Caitlin Clark's future is even half as bright as the beam of respect coming from Sue, then the league better invest in sunglasses, because this next chapter, it's about to shine. Want more sports legends praising icons and making Twitter explode? Smash that subscribe button faster than Sue Bird drops a no-look dime. And yes, we love Sue Bird in this house. If you don't, you're simply incorrect.